Good morning, everyone. So, today we are going to see one topic from the lesson study of sound, and that is types of sound. On your page number 130, this topic is given as a name audible, infra, and ultrasound, and these are the types of sound. So, depending upon that, sounds are of two types audible and inaudible. Let us start with the audible sound. Audible sound is that sound which can be heard by the humans. We humans can hear audible sound, and its frequency is from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. What is this 20 to 20,000 hertz? Hertz is a unit of frequency. Then what is frequency? Do you remember? Frequency is number of wavelengths passing in 1 second is called as frequency. For example, in 1 second, if 4 wavelengths are passing, then the frequency is 4 and its unit is hertz and it is written as Hz. Hertz is the unit of frequency. If the number of wavelengths passing in 1 second are more than 20 hertz and between the 20,000 hertz, then this sound is audible sound. अगर फ्रीक्वेंसी हमारे साउंड की फ्रीक्वेंसी 20 से 20,000 हर्ट्ज के बीच है, देन द साउंड इज ऑडिबल. हम वो साउंड सुन सकते हैं. वी ह्यूमंस कैन हियर ऑडिबल साउंड. ओके, देन द नेक्स्ट वन इज इनऑडिबल साउंड. इनऑडिबल साउंड इज दैट साउंड विच कैन नॉट बी हर्ड बाय द ह्यूमंस. हम ह्यूमंस इस इनऑडिबल साउंड को नहीं सुन सकते. वाई? बिकॉज फ्रीक्वेंसी इज वेरी लो, in one case below 20 hertz, and if the frequency is above 20,000 hertz, again that sound is inaudible. अगर साउंड की फ्रीक्वेंसी 20 हर्ट्ज से कम है और 20,000 हर्ट्ज से ज़्यादा है, then the sound is inaudible. For example, in 1 second less than 20 wavelengths are passing, then the frequency will be below 20. Suppose in 1 second only 4 wavelengths are passing, then the frequency will be 4 hertz. So that sound is inaudible because the frequency is below 20 hertz. If so many more than 20,000 hertz is the frequency of the sound, more than 20,000 wavelengths are passing in 1 second, then also the sound is inaudible. So just for revision, let us see this picture. Here you can see what is amplitude. It is given with the arrow. Time period. See, where the time period is written, only one wavelength is there. Only one wavelength is marked. So the passing of one wavelength in that particular time is called time period, and the frequency is 1 upon time period. And also you can see the frequency of sound wave. Okay, so after this let us study. In the previous slide we have seen sounds are of two types, audible and inaudible, and in inaudible again there are two types. If the sound is below 20 hertz and if the sound is above 20 hertz. So there are some names given to this inaudible sounds. So the names are infra and ultrasound. As we have seen, audible sound, the human ear can only recognize sounds of frequencies in the range of 20 hertz and 20,000 hertz, and this range of frequency is called audible sound. Below this and above this it is inaudible. Now below this, below 20 hertz is infrasound. Infrasound can be heard by some animals, and frequency above 20 hertz, 20,000 hertz, that is called as ultrasound. Bats can hear ultrasound. Okay, so these are the three types of sound: infrasound, audible sound, and ultrasound. Now after this you can observe this picture. What you can observe? If the length of the wavelength is very larger, in first case, infrasound. Who can hear the infrasound? Animals. Some animals can hear infrasound. How they can hear the infrasound? If the wavelength are very larger, अगर wavelength की जो length है वो बहुत ज़्यादा है, then what will happen? Very less number of wavelength will pass in 1 second. एक सेकेंड में बहुत कम wavelengths पास होंगी. So the frequency will be 20 hertz, below 20 hertz. So this is an infrasound. Now after that, audible area. Here you can see one family or humans. So this area, humans can hear audible sound. The frequency of audible sound is 20 to 20,000 hertz. So in somewhere it is written 16 hertz, but most of the time the frequency is 20 to 20,000 hertz. And now the last one. See, you can observe the size of the wavelength. If the size of the wavelength is very thin, then so many wavelengths can pass in 1 second. More than 20,000 wavelengths can pass in 1 second. So if more than 20,000 wavelengths are passing in 1 second, that sound will be ultrasonic sound. And some bats can hear ultrasonic sound. So this is all about types of sound. There are two different types of sound, audible and inaudible, and in inaudible sounds it is infrasound and ultrasound. So after this, the next topic is reflection of sound. As we have seen in the lesson, reflection of light gets reflected. The light coming from the source, some rays are there, those are called as incident rays. And after coming towards the object, those rays get reflected. So like that, reflection also takes place in the sound. Sound also gets reflected like light, and they also follows some laws. Like sound waves too get reflected from a solid or a liquid surface. And the laws which we have seen in the reflection of light, such as angle of incident is equal to angle of reflection. This we know, and that law is also followed here in the laws of reflection of the sound. As you can see here in this diagram, small I and small r, both the angles are same. Let us understand this topic with the help of one activity. In this picture, we can observe two cupboard tubes are taken on both the side, right side and left side, and in between one soft wood is there. It is attached to a hard plywood. If a stopwatch is placed on one side, some sound waves are coming from that stopwatch. Those sound waves are going towards the hard plywood, and one boy standing on the right side, he can hear the sound of the stopwatch on the left hand side, because the sound is getting reflected from the stopwatch, getting reflected here on the plywood. That is why this boy can hear the sound of the stopwatch on another cardboard tube. And here the angle of incident and angle of reflection of sound both are same. But here there are two types of reflectors. Some are the good and some are the bad reflectors of sound. How to identify good and bad reflectors? Let us see. How much of the incident sound gets reflected decides whether a reflector is good or a bad reflector. For example, if we will take a hard and flat surface, then it will be a good reflector, while clothes, paper, curtains and carpets, furniture, etc. will absorb the sound. Sound will not get reflected. Instead, the sound will get absorbed by the material, carpet, curtains, paper. Those substances will absorb the sound. Sorry, not substances, those material will absorb the sound instead of reflecting it, and therefore are called as bad reflectors of sound. Now, suppose wall is there. Wall is a good reflector of sound because wall is smooth and hard. And if curtains are there, what will happen if you are saying anything and the sound waves are going towards the curtain or any other material, furniture, those material will absorb the sound and sound will not be reflected. To understand this topic, we can take one example. If an empty room is there, only four walls are there. एक खाली रूम है जहाँ पर कुछ भी नहीं है. Okay, only four walls are there from the surrounding. Then what will happen? The sound you will be able to hear the sound. You will be able to hear the reflection of sound. Okay, you will think that sound is coming on a very loud volume, but in case of any room is there completely filled with furniture, cotton, curtains and different materials, what will happen there? You will not be able to hear a sound on a very loud loud voice. Instead of that, all the materials present in that room, either your furniture, carpet, or curtains, those material will absorb the sound. Okay, so that is why those are the bad reflectors of sound. So, this topic is over today. Today, we have seen different types of sound and reflection of sound. So, now we'll stop here. Thank you.